everyone, and welcome back to the Bodcast. You joined us for episode 21. Carrie is here, and Ian is also
Not here.
Ian is definitely here. Don't be silly.
In body only.
Yeah, his brain is gone.
No, not too bad.
Yeah. So today's episode, it's going to be a fun one. We're going to be talking about unusual uses for Lego, or different ways of using Lego other than building Lego, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know what you've looked at.
Okay.
You don't know what I've looked at.
No.
So hit me with your first unusual use of Lego.
So one that I actually quite liked the look of was the idea of using like standard 2x4 bricks as key rings.
Yes.
And then you could mount a base plate on the wall and then you can just stick your keys to it.
Yeah, I think someone who would really benefit from that as a Christmas present would be your parents, who are constantly losing their keys.
You've seen my mum's set of keys. There's no way clutch power alone would keep them attached.
That's true. Yeah, you have to like slim down some of your keys.
Yeah.
And
But
yeah,
no idea
I
why
think
she has so many keys.
it does look quite sweet. We've also got little minifigures that we were given with like our names on to hold our keys. It's like little key rings.
Have we?
Yeah, well, we've never used them. We probably shouldn't say that because people might be listening who gave them to us. It's only because we suck at remembering where we put them.
I don't remember ever seeing
But
them.
that would work similar because obviously you could attach a minifigure to a
Yes.
base plate as well. So,
You've not got the same clutch though.
but I guess if you were to just have a single key, it's
Yeah.
quite good for your family if you've all just got one key to the house.
Well, yeah, it'd be more if you've got like a key to the shed or
Yeah.
something. You could have that.
But what I'm thinking more with the minifigures is that it's obvious whose is who.
Right.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yes.
So, key to the shed.
But
You don't
everyone in
need
the
a
family
minifigure.
has to have a separate favourite colour. So as long as you get the bricks in the favourite colour, then you
I'm
know.
not entirely sure that everyone in the family has to have a separate favourite colour. That's just what our
I
children
think
currently
that's what kids all believe.
Yeah.
You can't
You
have the same
can't have
favourite
that.
colour as
It's
someone
my
else.
favourite colour. Yeah. I think we've mainly explained that to them now. So I saw that one a lot, and I thought that was a genuinely good use of Lego.
Yeah.
A lot of the things I saw was just like, oh, let's just build stuff that really doesn't need to be out of Lego.
Yeah, so you get a lot of phone holders.
Phone holders is one that I would rate because with the Technic stuff, it's quite a good thing to do, especially if you haven't planned that you need to prop up your phone.
Right.
If you've got Lego to hand, instead of having to purchase a phone holder. And in fact, purchasing phone holders, I don't know, just seems a bit over the top. For a lot of the time, when I was doing Minifig Monday, I would be using Lego to prop up my phone to take those. Because I wanted it to be low on the table kind of thing to get the right level.
Right.
Using a tripod was a bit of a pain. So I did do that, and I think that's a good one.
Okay. So, but what else have I seen? Flower pots?
Yeah, fruit bowls, things like that, or things that I kind of feel is just making something look Lego-y because you like Lego. So I saw quite a lot of like kitchen work surfaces made out of Lego. Not practical, a bit weird.
Okay. I saw
Dining
one where like
tables.
not the work surface itself, but like the sides of it
yeah.
were Lego.
Yeah, and I just that to me visually looks awful because I didn't like the jumble of colours and things.
Well, yeah, so that very much reminded me of Brixie.
And his wall.
He's got that wall, which is Brix, which really, really screws up low definition YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Because there's too many small bits of colour on there, and it just can't compress it down to the
It just
size
hurts my
required, and so
eyes.
it just makes it all look really wiggly.
Yeah.
But he's got that, and then he's got the
pillars.
pole, which is clad for signature bricks, I think. But so yeah, that very much reminded me of those things.
Yeah.
And I went, I'm not keen on it in a Lego room, as Brixie's got. I definitely wouldn't want it in the kitchen.
No. I would I would be fine with it if you added some sort of pattern to it and actually made it look nice.
Yeah.
But just the randomness of like what I would call child Legoing, or using the bricks you have.
Yeah.
Like, if you're gonna do that, it's not for me. And there was a lot about this that every time I found an idea, I was like, no, just not for me.
The one that I did think was interesting were kind of night lights, using layers of translucent coloured plates to make a night light.
They looked fun, but then I figured you could just buy night lights. That one I wasn't overly keen on.
Yeah.
Someone used 100,000 Lego bricks to create a fully functional greenhouse for the London Design Festival.
Why?
Yeah, well, that begs the question, I guess, because it was different. But yeah, I wouldn't be doing that.
No.
That one seemed weird. And then I did also see like a Lego rat cave. Did you see this one?
No, I didn't see this.
They essentially made like a little house for a rat or a small pet. But the comments on that one was like, you're going to kill your pet.
Yeah.
Like, they've not been tested against those. And they've got sharp teeth and they will.
Well, no, Lego should be perfectly fine to eat. It is tested that it is fine.
No, it's in like, if you chew it to the point that you get little splinters and it gets you.
No, I don't think that's a
This
problem.
person said, sadly, I discovered this through experience. So I'm going to defer.
But they are definitely going to eat the Lego. I mean, you know, it's not going to survive very well.
Yeah.
And don't be selling that stuff on Bricklink afterwards.
Yeah. There's
Partially
some Lego
chewed
that
by rats.
that's worse. Finding bite marks is bad enough. Finding rat bite marks, step too far. I saw a Lego Battleship game, which looked pretty good.
Okay.
And again, you could just buy a Battleship game, but if you have taken your Lego on holiday as one of your toys and you suddenly want to play a game, you can build it up.
I've seen, Lego Noughts and Crosses.
Yeah. Well, I guess both of those you could just do with paper, though.
Yes.
So, it seemed like a really good version. Like, well done. Ping pong net. DIY ping pong net. Did you see this one?
No.
I thought this one was quite creative. You don't have a tennis table, and you don't have a net, and you got some Lego, and some.
But you happen to have some
the bats and the balls.
Yeah.
I think that's possible. That you might have to. Maybe you go somewhere to play ping pong, but you haven't invested. Ping pong. Ping pong is such a better name for it.
With what?
No, ping pong. If you happen to go somewhere else to play it, so you have the balls and things, but you don't have the table, you just build up a little net and you play on your dining room table. I thought that was fun.
Don't know.
If I suddenly went, I want to play ping pong, and I had the things like the bats and the balls to hand, I couldn't think of another way to do it as effectively. How would you make
boxes?
Cardboard boxes? One would fall down a lot easier. It wouldn't stay up. Like, as you're running about, they would fall. I think I think you made a sturdy partition that is obvious to get over. And you'd hear as it hit the Lego.
But I think the problem is, with table tennis, clipping the net and that affecting the ball and getting a point off it is part of the game. It wouldn't be the same if it hit some Lego bricks. It's not got the same flexibility in it.
It would move backwards instead of... It wouldn't carry on and just change where it would go.
Or it would do too steeper bounce.
Well, I still thought that was a good one.
No, I'm not keen.
Okay. Great uses. It was obviously like prosthetic limbs for animals.
Yes,
have you seen this?
I saw
the tortoise, with the little wheels underneath. Part of me, because I think the first picture I can see looks like it's attached... I suppose you can just glue things to tortoises' shells, right?
To a degree, yes.
They wouldn't really care too much.
They do care. They can feel through their shells.
They can feel, like, as in their shells have sense.
Yeah. So there's like a thing with people kind of scratching messages into the tops of it, and that's really painful for them.
Why would people do that?
Well, people just go, oh, it's just a shell. They won't feel it. But no, trained vets will do this. I mean, my sister...
Does she use Lego on animals?
She's not used Lego on animals, as far as I'm aware. She is a vet, but so she used to, spend quite a lot of time at reptile specialist up in Birmingham, and they had the tortoise was run over and its shell was pretty much destroyed, and they made an acrylic shell to replace it.
Not a Lego shell.
Not a Lego one.
So I thought that was a sweet idea. I think that's a good use for Lego. But not one that you would necessarily think of. And it's the wheels. I mean, is that a Lego wheel, really? I suppose it probably is, and you'd be fine replacing those.
Yes.
Just sort of get a new one every now and then.
I've seen dogs who have had lost legs and therefore have like a little, almost like wheelchair system set up for the back legs. You could easily build that out of Lego.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sorry, I just suddenly thought, not just replace the tyres, but replace the wheels on the tortoise with the new stunts wheels, and then just woof, off goes the tortoise. That would be hilarious. I'm loving that idea. Probably not so good for the tortoise, but that would be the fastest it's ever gone.
Yes. Yeah.
Right, sorry. I saw a Connect 4 done in Lego, which I thought was quite nice. Look at
that. Again, you could just get Connect 4.
Is it using Technic bricks? Oh, are you just... So you're just sort of poking them into the holes? So you've got like a Technic long,
Right, okay.
And you're... Instead of dropping it down...
You're just poking
it
in.
either side. So that's not as cool as I thought it was initially. I thought that gluing studs onto your fingernails and then attaching random Lego accessories to your fingernails to make yourself look better was an unusual way of using Lego.
That's definitely
but not one that I'd want to. I mean, they even put like a minifigure on their fingers and stuff. They had, like, the flowers I thought were fine. That wasn't too chunky. But as soon as you're starting to put a different minifigure on each finger, that kind of limits your
puppet show.
Yeah. Oh, that would be good. Yeah, I quite like that. But yeah, I think everyday like chores and things would be a bit of an issue with that one.
There's obviously things like, hollowing out the Lego brick and using it as like a USB key.
Yeah, I didn't like any of the suggestions that were hurting the Lego.
The keychains, though.
Well, so the keychain that I saved was the one that uses the Technic brick. So you just put the keychain bit through the hole. So the Technic brick itself was fine. And I saw the one where you like make a BFF chain. So you get the plates that have the hole in the end.
Yeah.
And then you make it into a heart shape. I was fine with that as well. But as soon as you're like destroying the Lego, that bothered me a little bit. Okay. Although I did really like the Lego shoes, where someone had essentially just stuck loads of Lego to the outside of shoes. Because they were colourful and they were bright and fun. But I wouldn't wear them.
Plenty of opportunity for greebling.
Greebling! So those are the ones I saved pictures of. I think I also had a list. So my mum uses Lego. It might actually be Duplo, I'm not entirely sure. But she uses it to prop up a rather heavy power block that has a tendency to pull itself out of the power thing. So she just puts Lego underneath it to sort of give it a little bit of a push up, and it doesn't come out. And that is a really useful thing for her. Yeah. She used some Lego that she had. Yeah. I thought, is that unusual? Maybe it is unusual.
I don't know. Propping stuff up.
Yeah. You can also use them quite a lot for like maths explanations for kids. So they're really good for fractions, or just as like manipulatives for doing sums and things. Yep. But you could also use them for spelling. So one of the people I follow on Instagram, she writes on them with Sharpies. So you'd have words or the parts of words, and you can then put them together to make words. Yep. I was a little bit unsure about writing on my Lego with Sharpies. And she used Duplos, to be fair.
But yeah, because you could use 1x1s for single letter phonemes, then you've got digraphs on 1x2s and trigraphs.
Yeah.
And
but yeah, so or you can do it with different spellings, so having the wrong things and you have to put the right things in. And she did sort of take the Sharpie off, but it dulled the Lego and I didn't like that. So I was wondering maybe like a chalk pen or maybe just whiteboard markers.
Whiteboard marker would probably work.
But then that doesn't make it as easy to manipulate, I guess, because you might be rubbing off the spellings. So depends how, like, the age of the kids that you're working with and how good they are at not, like, rubbing things off. I also thought that we used them quite a lot for, like, team building exercises or, like, interview exercises. Yes. When we were...
So there is the whole Lego Serious Play. So Lego Serious Play is a slightly odd thing. And in some ways it seemed a bit like a pyramid scheme.
Really?
Well, so you had these accredited professional Lego Serious Play people, and then they would go off and they would teach other people how to do it, and you had to have licenses and you had to pay like hundreds of pounds to go on a day-long course to learn how to play with Lego.
I did not know this.
Oh, and then they kind of open sourced it, and so there is the Lego Serious Play handbook, I think, which teaches you all about it. It goes through, setting up your first day-long Serious Play session. So this is mainly, you can use it for a whole bunch of different things, but I'm trying to think what some of the examples were. So you would get a team together and you would get them to, using a set of Lego bricks, build a little model that represented their job. And then you'd get the team to take all those models and work out how to fit them all together to show what their team composition was like.
Mm-hmm.
And you do weird things like make them build towers and then knock the towers over and show them that they care slightly too much about the tower. Because a lot of people think it's a silly idea and stuff, but when you show them actually building a tower and how upset they get when you just smash it in front of them, they realise that it's not quite as silly as they first thought.
That's a mean thing to do.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, so part of that you can do whole different things. So as you say, team building, you can help. One of the ideas behind it, so there's a lot of neuroscience that went into it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the idea that if you're using your hands to build, you're using a lot more of your brain power at the same time, because more areas of the brain are engaged, and therefore you actually get more insight out of it than if someone was just asked questions and asked to talk about something.
You see, I would think the opposite. Like, if you're using your hands, you're distracted. But, yeah, it makes sense that
you're still using your hands
turned
on the same task.
Kind of thing.
It's not you're using your hands to do one thing and thinking about something else.
Yeah.
It's all focused on one task, and therefore it's a very productive way of doing it. Yeah, a lot of the people who are charging hundreds of pounds for doing these courses have then gone, oh no, you can't just learn it by reading this book, you have to go and do the course, kind of thing, and it all got a bit messy.
This is something I knew nothing about.
Really?
I knew Serious Play existed. I've seen it, but I didn't know.
Did I not show you the book?
Maybe.
So you can download the book and print it off. So I printed it off at work and had it. So I read through it and stuff. They do sell very expensive kits for it.
Yeah, that's where I've seen Serious Play. On the website at extortionate prices. And you think, oh, how much? What exactly is in that for that amount of money? But
it's just random pieces.
Yeah. I also saw some chore charts done in Lego. I couldn't quite work out how they worked. I'm guessing you'd need some sort of key. And then Miss Bricks of Fun, she's put a fish tank together with Lego inside. That looks pretty cool. I worry about the Lego, personally. That feels like hurting the Lego, but at the same time, it looks really cool.
There's definitely a YouTube video.
Yeah, Beyond the Brick, I think, has showed
a shop where they have
with a fish tank, and they've got loads of stuff in there.
Apparently, it's quite difficult because you have to weigh the Lego down. You have to weigh it down,
yeah.
Because Lego will float, despite the fact that all the boats say they don't float.
Yeah. Well, Lego itself will float. It's more, they say the boats won't float, as in they won't remain upright kind of thing. Yeah. And then the last one I had on my list was as a burglar deterrent. So if you just before you go to bed every night, just lay lots of Lego down on the floor up to all your valuables.
Yeah.
I was thinking...
You then have to put a sign up saying, please take off your shoes before breaking into this house.
Oh, I suppose, yeah, if you haven't got barefoot. I spent ages going through all of the things in Home Alone because I was convinced that was one of the things that you'd used in Home Alone.
No, it was Christmas decorations.
Yeah, I wrote that out eventually. I was disappointed that the Lego wasn't a thing, given that it's going to be a Lego set.
But you have to somehow find a way to get them to take their shoes off first, otherwise it just doesn't work.
No. Any others that you had? I had quite a long list.
Yeah, I think you covered most of the things I found. Don't think there was anything else. Probably not.
I really like it when people do, there's this one art installation kind of guy who makes Lego designs inside walls.
Oh yeah, that's
quite
you
cool. Open. I think that's really cool.
Yes.
But it's not for everyone.
No, that's definitely more specialist.
And I feel like we don't have the kind of houses where you'd have that much room inside your walls kind of thing.
Depends where you live.
Yeah. Where would we do it in here?
I don't know.
No.
Oh, you could just build out a wall as well.
That's true.
So you could
make
extend the chimney breast out a couple of inches so that you've got...
So lose space so that you can gain an art piece.
Yeah. Because at that point it is art.
It's definitely art. It's very impressive.
Not trying to fulfil any real particular function.
I'm also pretty sure that you bought me a book of 365 things to do with Lego every day, and I think I had a whole bunch in, but I forgot to get that down. Yeah.
I mean, you've got the ones where it's minifigures holding cables.
Oh yeah, that one's quite a useful one.
Is it? I feel minifigures just fall over.
Well, you would attach them some other way.
Oh yes, and you have to have the right cables.
They not hold all cables? No.
No.
They hold that one, but they're not going to hold this one.
So they'll hold the USB cable, but not the microphone cable.
Yeah. Good audio descriptions there, Ian.
Thank you. Try to help for those people who can't see what you're doing, which is everyone.
Well, you can see what I'm doing, but
Yes.
that's pretty much it. Yeah, so certain thicknesses of cables work, others not so much.
Yeah. Of course, if it works with USB cables, more things are moving to USB.
Yeah.
In the EU, isn't it that they're looking at enforcing USB cables for all phones?
Yeah, I think so. I think the thing that I worry is that you then have to like stick a bit of Lego, like a Lego plate on the side to attach a minifigure to. But they also get that non-Lego branded Lego tape, don't they?
Yeah.
So you could just use that.
Yeah.
Or just blue tack, I don't know. We blue tack our minifigures every now and then when we're trying to make interesting stop motions.
And then you spend ages trying to get the blue tack back
yeah,
off
and it's
again.
really annoying. But like if you were to just attach it to like a flat bit on a
minifigure, it's when you're trying to the feet and then it goes into the holes.
The holes and things, yeah. So yeah, Lego is useful for many things. Lego can also be a way of life and you can just embrace it and decorate everything with it, but that is not something that I want to do.
No.
In fact, I saw a TikToker recently. She's like teaching people how to use Lego sets as display pieces around their house. So like she'll randomly put them like next to the toaster or something. So and she'll dress up the sort of area to be in keeping with the Lego set. And so she says like the kinds of Lego sets where you can do this are ones that have no more than 4 main colours.
Yeah.
Because then it's just too disjointed and it doesn't bring the piece together. So like the new Super Mario block, excellent for making a display piece because it's yellow.
Well, once it's open, it's not.
Well, don't open it.
Okay.
But
it's
like
buying it if you don't
some of
open
these
it.
video sets that are horrendously coloured, you can't display those. And she had Lego all over her house. Like it wasn't like this is my display room. I'm just going to have it everywhere. And I thought that was quite a nice idea. So
the issue with that is sun damage.
Yeah, sun damage is a shame. Look after your Lego people. Right. Well, that was a fun episode. I quite enjoyed that. Like looking at all the things. I was like, why would you do that with Lego?
Yeah.
But if you've got any ideas of things you could do with Lego that we might not have thought of or seen, that you think is a really good idea, let us know in the comments below. Or catch us on Instagram. Send us a picture of what you do with your Lego. If you want to listen to any of our previous podcast episodes, then you can catch them all in a YouTube playlist, which I'll link for you. And don't forget to subscribe wherever you are listening.
Which could be Spotify.
Or Apple.
Or
YouTube itself. Or Google.
Google?
No, I don't know where I'm at. Yeah, we're on Google. Google Podcasts.
I didn't know Google had podcasts.
What? You didn't know Google had podcasts? Well, we're there. So you can catch us there. And we'll catch you next week for the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.